Peace, blessings, enough, holy, plenty, a lot of love to all our queens and our kings in the house. Thank you all for joining us on this wonderful deep dive, globally changing lives. Really appreciate. And as you know, our 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 theme song is to win it, in it to win it. And that is by our one and only Queen Lerato Shadari. And so, as we continue with our webinar, we have the international singing recording artist, Queen Lerato Shadari, with In It to Win It.
We are here. Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
All right, all right. Thank you very much, Queen Lerato Shadari. Really do appreciate. Moving right along, as you know, um, the best part of my program or the best part of any program that I'm involved with or involved in, it's the mindset because the mindset is basically your life. Every one of us have a mindset. And if we have a negative mindset, then we look at life, not just business, not just our jobs, but we look at life from a negative point of view. If our mindset is positive or growing, then we look at life in a positive or a growing life. And so one of those persons who is dear to us, that is in a very cold part of the world, unfortunately. She has been with us, a few years now, and she's an international inspirational speaker, which means she's very optimistical in life. And of course, that is what she wants to pass on to all of us. She is definitely an entrepreneur, big time, with those Canadian dollars there. And she's a co host of One Global Movement, which is every Tuesday and Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And so we are fortunate, based on her busy schedule, to really pull her into deep dive and get her on this program to really speak on this platform. And so, without any further ado, the art of noticing, a practical way to regain control of your mind, of your mind. And so, without any further ado, it is none other than Queen Yvonne Finn. Over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Derek, for having me again. And hello, everyone. Can you hear me? Am I loud and clear here, Dr. Derek? Okay, great. All right. So, as you said, the introduction has been made. I'm glad to be here again. And I just want to greet everyone and say thank God for preserving us and for being so grateful, gracious, and gracious and generous with His blessings. Thank Him for that. So for tonight, as we go right into this, I want to ask a question. I want to say, let me begin with a simple question. Have you ever tried very hard not to think about something and ended up thinking about it all the more? You told your mind to stop, and your mind said to you, no, let's discuss this in more details. But tonight is not about stopping thoughts. Tonight, it's about something far more powerful. Tonight is about noticing, as I said in the topic, noticing. Because you do not regain control of your mind by controlling your thoughts, which is what most of us think. We really, thoughts come to us, they come. That is not the issue. You regain control of your mind by noticing what you are giving your attention to. That's why the scripture says we are to take every thought captive. Why? So we can filter them, so we can examine them, so we can see if they serve us well, if they align with what our Creator says about us. And that is where real authority lives. Most people believe that they have a thinking problem. We don't have a thinking problem. What we have is a noticing habit, what we notice. We notice that one negative comment and we ignore the 50 positive ones. We notice the mistake that we made in the morning and we're carrying it all day with us. We notice that others have and we don't. Or we notice what is missing, what is wrong, what is irritating, what is unfair. And then we wonder why our mind feels heavy, noisy, and out of control. So here is the quiet truth. What you notice, your mind magnifies. Attention is the steering wheel of your mind. And most of us have been driving without realizing where we keep turning the wheel. That is not mindfulness. This is mental authority. Because noticing happens before the thought grows, before the emotion builds, before the reaction begins. Noticing happens upstream. Spiritually speaking, noticing is awareness. And awareness is where peace lives. Peace is not the absence of noise. It is the result of choosing what you notice within the noise. So let's get practical. You walk into a room, and then you can notice the person who didn't greet you, or you can notice the one who smiled warmly and welcomed you. It's the same room, a different mind though, different experience, different emotional outcome. Nothing outside has to change. It's only what you noticed. And this is the art of noticing. So how do we practice it? Well, very simply, I'm going to use another acronym, and it's just the word notice. The N is notice what you are noticing. Ask yourself, what am I paying attention to right now, this minute, right now? The O, observe without judgment. Don't scold yourself. Don't criticize yourself. Just be an objective observer. Just see it. The T, test it. Is this helping my mind or is it hurting it? I is for intentionally redirect. What else is here that I could notice? For instance, we talk about gratitude a lot. There's always something to be grateful for. If you're warm and cozy inside, you have food in your fridge, you have your health, you have friends, you have family, focus on gratitude, if nothing else, right? And then the C, choose what deserves your attention. Not everything is worthy of focus. In Philippians 4:8, it says to notice, keep your mind on what is true, what is noble, what is right, what is pure, what is lovely, what is admirable. Think on those things then. E, experience the shift that happens when you do that. Feel how quickly your mind changes when you noticing changes. This takes a few seconds, doesn't take a long time, it's not a lifetime, but it changes everything. You cannot stop the thoughts from coming, as I said, but you can decide what you feed them with. You do not have a thinking problem. You have a noticing habit. And the beautiful part is this. You are already practicing the art of noticing. It's just what you're choosing to notice. You just haven't been choosing what you're noticing. When you begin to choose what you notice, something spiritual happens. You return to awareness. You return to presence. You return to yourself. And your mind, without forcing, begins to settle. Not because you fought it, but because you stopped feeding it the wrong things. So tonight, from this moment forward, let us carry this thought. In every room, in every conversation, in every challenge, what am I noticing? Because that is where your power, my power, that is where the power is. That is where your peace is. This is how you gently and quietly take your mind back. The spiritual component of this is across cultures and traditions, people speak of returning to stillness, returning to self, returning to center. But there is also a deeper invitation available to us who are believers, an invitation when we feel overwhelmed, distracted, or burdened, to turn not only inward, but upward to the Creator, the one who offers what many of us have heard described as the peace that surpasses understanding. It's a peace that is not dependent on circumstances, not dependent on solved problems, it's not dependent on a quiet schedule, but available in the very moment that we pause and breathe and ground ourselves. We take notice of those thoughts and choose to return to our Creator, who holds us centered when life feels unsteady. Because center is not a place you go, it is the place you return to again and again and again. And that is why He asks us to labor to enter into His rest. I have some scriptures that tells you all about that. In Matthew 11:28 and 30, it says, it encourages those who are weary to come to Jesus and rest. And John 14:27 assures us who are believers that God's peace, which is different from the world's, is given to us free of charge. So we can always return to that place again and again. Thank you, Dr. Derek, and thank you everyone for listening.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you very much, Queen Yvonne Finn. And
Thank
oh
you, Dr.
mercy,
Derek.
I definitely notice you with those one.
Thank you, Dr. Derek.
I definitely notice you with those wonderful mindset words. And
Thank you,
you
sir.
have to notice in life
Yes,
that even though you think you are in lack, even though you think you are
yes,
in lack,
yes,
notice that really
yeah,
and truly you are in abundance.
yes, absolutely.
Because from once you have life, and
Exactly.
especially if you are not horizontal, which means you're not
True.
laying down in a hospital bed
Truly,
with
truly.
saline drip
Yes,
and with a
yes,
bedpan, you are in abundance. You see, people don't look at
absolutely.
life that way, you know.
Yes,
They
you
don't look at
must.
life that way. They
You
just
must.
think that, oh, I don't have a nice car, so I'm in
Yeah,
luck.
yeah, yeah,
I don't have
yeah,
a
yeah,
nice house, so I'm in
yeah,
luck. I'm
yeah,
struggling to pay my rent, so I'm in
yeah.
luck.
I'm in luck.
And
Yes,
that's the wrong way to look at life.
it
The
is.
foundation has to be that you need to notice that you are
What you
already
have.
in abundance.
Yes, that's exactly it, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that one, Queen Yvonne Finn. That I tell you, you're short, you're sweet, and you're very impactful and powerful.
Thank you,
Thank you
Dr.
very much.
Derek.
Really
Thank
appreciate,
you. Thank you.
really appreciate. Any other comments? Any other comments? There's the raise hand here, and also there is you can just open your mic and speak. But that was very, very, very informative and heavy duty
Thank
to
you.
notice.
Yes.
That's
I
what we
like
need to do.
I like
Notice.
that you like those, Dr. Derek, because I like the short ones. I don't like to belabor the point. I make the point.
Yep. And King Team love the short ones too. And at this time, all right, I don't see any hands raised. And
Okay.
people in the YouTube saying nice, thank you, Queen Finn. Um, awesome word.
Yes.
Wonderful,
Thank you.
right?
Thank you.
So
Yes.
thank you very much, Queen Yvonne Finn. Really appreciate.
Thank you, sir.
And so at this time, we are going to go into our second presentation, right? And of course, that is dealing with that topic of financial um, analysts, all right? Or the topic really is financial needs analysts, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And this person has been here before, been here last week also, last week Tuesday, and
Mm-hmm.
as you know, he's a international speaker also, and his extensive background is in health and also in fitness and also in financial specialist, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's a trusted leader, a mentor, and has proven to be an excellent teacher. And so here today to teach us is none other than than King Timothy Ferguson, Ferguson Jr., which of course it will be the financial needs analyst, part five,
Mm-hmm.
of which is going to segue into another area of finance. So over to you, King Tim.
Thank you, Dr. Derek. Thank you. Excellent opening. It is a pleasure and it is an honor to be here with you on Deep Dive today and with everybody. Hello to everybody.
Hello,
All
hello.
who were present last week when I spoke. If you were here and you remember and you like it, put a like in the chat. Again, giving your feedback. Would like to know what your feedback is, because my objective is to get better. Is always looking for means of improvement and what it is that you like, what it is that you don't like. Be real, be honest. Whatever it is, I want to know so that I can improve on whatever it is that I am, giving to people, because the objective is that you guys learn and that you guys are able to fulfill what is most essential for you. So, um, basically, I'm back here on talking about the financial needs analysis, and just to kind of go into it really quickly. Why am I talking about a financial needs analysis? What is a financial needs analysis? It's not something that is gonna that you can purchase and your finances are gonna change. It's not something that is going to, you do and then it's just going to pay bills off. What it is a GPS tool that shows you where you're at right now, where you're at currently, and based on where you're at currently, where you're going. Now, how many of us would you say like to be going about a destination not knowing where we're going? Or how many of us like to get lost? And better yet, if we get lost, how many of us like to stay lost? And think that nobody would agree of any of these matters of saying I want to be lost. I mean, what are the things that comes with that? Anxiety, stress, fear, frustration, worry, loss of time, loss of money. And there's nothing beneficial that comes with being in a state of delusion or a state of loss, that when you have desires of fulfilling things, you not only don't you meet these desires or goals, but you're not even in position to possibly meet it. And so, no, who wants to be in a place like that? Nobody does. And so, the financial needs analysis, guys, is a tool that is created to show you where you are on the financial map. It's not to condemn you. It's not to make you feel any kind of way of I messed up or I made a mistake. No, it's just a map tool to show you where you're at, and for us to look at where you're at, and for you to ask yourself the question: are you content with where you're going? Are you on track? Do you like this? Are you aware of where you're going? And it puts you in the position to be able to make choices again. Because see, when you're lost, guys, we can't make a choice. We don't know choices to make. We're just kind of going with the flow. But if I'm recognizing that when I'm looking at my financial picture and it's not in alignment with the goals that I have, well, now the next matter is, well, I want to do something about it, and I can do something about it. And so this is why this is why it's important to have this and to go through this, because guys, time is ticking. We don't lose. We're not adding years to our life. Every day that goes by, our circumstance, when unchecked, only gets harder for us to fulfill. So there's the reason why not doing it. And I would say in some cases, someone might say, I don't know if I'll need it or not. It's not so much that you may say, I'm overlooking my financial circumstance or any case in any matter here. I don't, because like I said, nobody says that I want to stay blind. It's more of in the matter of I don't believe that it's going to help me. I mean, think about it. If we think about it from that standpoint, nobody wants to invest in things that they believe is a waste of their time. Even more than just a waste of their money, but a waste of their time, a waste of their hopes, a waste. And so my objective here is now to explain to you how it is the value of the financial needs analysis is of such value that it is worth your time. It is worth everything. It's worth the next 10, 15 years of your life. So, as I said before, this is a tool. What exactly is the financial needs analysis here to show us to do? It's one, help us show where we're at, and then show you what we can do to get you back on track. Just like a regular map on a GPS. I'm lost. I put my address into the GPS, and it tells me how far I am. It tells me which are the best routes to get there, what's the fastest route. It tells me the time I'm going to land. It tells me everything that I need. And the minute that I now identify where I'm at and where I'm going, the stress, the worry, the fear, the frustration, all of the anxieties, it all goes away. And I can just say, great, I can get back on track. And now the destination, or the getting to the destination, is no longer a stress or a frustration. It's something I can now enjoy, because I know I'm going to get there. You know, I can look at the clock, I can look where I'm at, and I can see, okay, I'm right on track. Okay, so what I was talking about the financial needs analysis was basically breaking down what I call renovating your financial house. I'm going to share my screen really quickly of what we went over then, and this was for the purpose to let's see here. Hold on one second. I had this here. Okay, so here we go. Alrighty. Can you guys let me know, Dr. Derek? Can you guys see my screen? You can see what I'm showing here.
Yes.
Okay. Building your financial house. So this is something that a model that I presented to you guys before on understanding what does our financial house look like. We all have a financial house. The question is what does my financial house look like? And when I identify what my financial house looks like, well, hey, you know what? It kind of makes sense why I have my house is what it is. It makes sense now why I got some leaks in my roof. You know, why my foundation is cracking, or why my walls are too thin now. But the good thing about it is, although I identify what it is, what is the thing that we do when in a regular home when we find out we have some issues, whether it's leaks or cracks or whatever? What do? We hire somebody to come and repair it. And, you know, thanks to having insurance and things like that, we can, you know, a lot of these things can get covered under insurance. But the point in the matter is we identify these things, not so we just know that we have the problem, but so that they can get fixed. And once they're fixed, what do we get from there? Relief. You know, I don't have to hear the drip drop in my roof, you know, when I'm trying to sleep at night, or or whatever the issues are. I feel like, you know, my walls are so thin. I feel like if I touch it, I'm going to get electrocuted. Point in the matter is relief. So what exactly is makes up the foundations or the constructs of our financial house? Well, the first thing, and I would say is one of the most important things we want to look at in our financial house, is the foundation, because a house, founded against itself cannot stand. So what is the foundation of our financial house? We call this income protection, guys. And what is income protection? It speaks for what it is. You know, something that you have for yourself that protects your income. If you're the primary breadwinner, you make 50, 60, 70, 80, whatever thousands of dollars, and your life is based on this income, the thing that you'd want to do when you have a family is you want to protect that income. If something were to happen to you, God forbid, tomorrow's no day is promised to any man, but something were to happen, you know, do you want your family to now be in a position where your goals, your dreams, everything that you have been building up for now just makes a quick left turn, a sharp left turn, because you no longer have the resources to take care of these things? Nobody wants that. So as a result, we want to be able to have a protection program to be able to protect that income. So in the case of something were to happen to you, God forbid, my family is still going to be taken care of. I have created a program where my family is going to receive my income for the next 5, maybe 10 years, based on how we're looking at it, to continue to do what they're doing. And the question was, do we have an income replacement program? If you don't, this is something that we want to look into and getting for you. Okay. The next thing that we want to look at is the roof. The roof is also very important, just as important as the foundation of the house, because nobody wants to get rained and snowed upon, at least, you know, where I'm living. And so what is the roof an example of? Legal protection. When it comes to the working class, dealing with an attorney is usually someone we deal with in probate, or if you got a speeding ticket and you want to talk to somebody to try to get some points taken off of the ticket. But basically we deal with attorneys only in drastic measures, when in reality we should have access to legal counsel at our fingertips. Why? Because we deal with legal matters in some form or another on a day-to-day basis. But because because an attorney is can their practices and what they can do can be expensive, especially when they nickel and dime you with everything, we basically take it on ourselves and say, I'll figure this stuff out on my own. So we pretty much take we take the long haul, or we take the longer end of the stick when it comes to dealing with things. And if I don't have to take the longer end of the stick, well, would I? Of course not. Who wants to sit at the back of the line if they have the option to move to the front? So having and in this case here with finances, protecting your income legally is just as essential as having the income being protected in itself, or your assets, I should say, being protected. And so having a will, a living will, or a power of attorney is something that is essential to be able to have, because in the case and in the matter, like I said, God forbid something happens, you don't now, not only do you want to have your money, have money for your family or resources for your family, but you also want to make sure that it goes to the right family. Okay, of course, family is family, but who wants to say, who wants to take 20, 30 years of hard work and that they've built up to be put in the wrong hands of somebody who's going to squander it or mess it all up? Nobody wants that. And so the way that we can protect your assets in that matter is by establishing a living will, or in the case, a power of attorney. A power of attorney, somebody that you might have that you want to assign on paper, who can make financial decisions for you, or any kind of decisions in that matter for you, that and trust are going to be in your personal best interests. And so, and guys, when we don't have these things in writing, well, these things happen. But now, rather than you having it on paper and assigned to how you want it to be handled, it goes through probate, where the judge now basically decides to who they believe should handle the matters or should have the matters. And guys, it's these kind of probate matters that causes families to fall apart. They fight, they bicker, they argue, they distance themselves. And I'm pretty sure, me being a father, and one where I wouldn't want to see my kids fighting over my resources and my assets, in the time of my passing. And so as a result, to avoid these things, I want to be able to have things on paper going to each and every one of who I feel is best for it to go to. Okay. And the question is do I have a will? If you don't have a will, well, then that's something that we need to get. We need to get that roof put on. The next thing, guys, I talked about was the emergency fund. What is the emergency fund? This is something that we all should have as a hedge of protection to our assets and to replace credit cards. Guys, that credit cards, it's like the worst. I don't like calling it a friend, but it's like the worst friend that we can all have, because it's taking everything out up from under us. In fact, it gives us the ideal impression to believe that we actually have more than we truly have. You ever heard of the term living on credit? And so as a result, what does it cost me to live on credit? It costs me more money, and it makes those who I'm paying very, very wealthy. Look at the interest rates. In the case of what you're paying, these companies are billion-dollar companies because of this, what they're doing here. And if many of us understood how all of this works, we would make decisions otherwise of saying, no, I'm not gonna get a credit card and get 3 and 4 and 5 credit cards just to say, hey, I can build credit. Now, when I understand that when the money is actually working for me, it's going to be better off. And 2, when I have assets, I don't need credit. Well, then my decision making is going to be different. And so as a result, an emergency fund is something that I'm just building up that we would be considered to be at least 3 to 6 months of our living expenses. And it's for emergencies only. And how does this work? Tire busted, had issue with my car, something that went down with an emergency with my child, whatever the case is, I have money I can pull from to take care of that matter. And when I make more money, guess what? I just go ahead and I pay myself back. Okay. Why do I want to pay myself back? Because I've positioned my money in a place where it's earning interest. And the interest it's earning, well, guess what? The more money's in the account, the more interest it's going to generate. So I want to put more of that money back into my account, whether it was borrowed and I'm supposed to be paid back or not. That money's going back into that account. I treat it just like a credit card. It's got to be back at the end of the month. Okay, and so the matter is, if I don't have this, I need this. Okay. The next thing we want to look at in our financial house is the debt elimination, guys. I call the debt. When it comes to debt and income, I kind of look at that as the wall and the electricity in the walls. And imagine, guys, if you lived in a home where the electricity was built on the outside of your walls. Look around. Imagine if you just saw electrical lines just all built, just all sitting on the outside of your walls. You'd feel a little uncomfortable. You might have to tape out, like you tape some lines like 3 foot away from the walls and have all these signs saying do not touch or do not pass this line because it's so dangerous. You trip and fall, you hit the wall, and that's it. And so it's not safe. And so we can all agree that when I have more debt than I have bringing that I have than income, it's not safe. It's not pleasant. It's frustrating. It's hard. I can't afford for more things to happen because I'm underwater here. So we all recognize what that feels like. It's challenging. So what we want to do is we want to renovate the home, and let's take that electricity and we want to now rebuild them within the walls, which means we want to now create a financial portfolio where the income generated is greater than the debt that is going out. Okay. And so the question we have to ask ourselves, am I in debt? If I am in debt, do I have a debt freedom day in the next 10 years? Better yet, do you have a debt freedom date, or do you know when that debt freedom date is? If you don't know these things, consider yourself driving lost. Okay. And then we want to talk about becoming an investor. What is an investor? This is basically, I'm in a position now where that debt that I was paying on a regular basis is now being reallocated into investment streams that are going to now generate income for me. Okay. If I'm going to pay interest, I might as well pay myself the interest instead. All righty. I might as well let the money work for me instead of working for somebody else. Because that's all we're doing here. When you have debts, your money is working for who you took the debt out on. It's working for that car note. It's working for the mortgage. It's working for that credit card. They're the ones making all the money on this. Now, that question we got to ask ourselves is, am I content with that? Do I want to live and spend the next 20, 30 years of my life making somebody else rich? Or would I rather use the resources that I generate and that I've worked hard and labored for in a way to make me wealthy? To benefit and to benefit my pockets and my estate. Which one would I prefer? Now, we can't have the best of both worlds. And what I mean by that is we can't complain about life not having and then saying, well, hey, I want to pay other people. So if I really want to see the change in my life, I have to now change the trajectory of my financial picture. Again, which is what this is all about right here. Renovating my financial house. And so the biggest question that we have to ask ourselves is, if you are not retired yet, or if you're close to retirement, whatever the case you're in, do you have a plan to duplicate your paycheck by retirement? If you don't have a plan to duplicate your paycheck by retirement, you're leaving yourself up for what I would consider a huge failed expectation. Because think about it. Or actually, some may not think about it, but most may not realize that when you work 30 years for, with a full career in a solid job, making 30, maybe $50,000 more a year for 30 years, you've generated over $1 million, or it could be $2 million when you look back and see how much money that you've made. But then the question is that you have to really think about, and this is where it sinks in. How much money do I actually have to show for all of what I've made? And when you recognize that it's been 20 years and I have nothing to show for anything that I've made, that right there is that's the problem. And yes, when you have a job and you have retirement plans, they're supposed to, they create retirement programs for you where some of your money goes towards this. But now the question is, am I right on track for retirement? Can I retire at age 67 or age 66? Can I retire earlier? Or am I in a place where, based on things that are going on, I may not be able to retire until I'm 80? Okay. Well, however, the point in the matter is, the question is, when do you want to retire? That's what's most important. When do you want to retire, and are you in line for that? And if you're not, well, then that's definitely something we want to look into to see what can we do to get you on track to where you want to be. Okay. And then the last thing that we want to talk about in the financial house is college savings. For those who are parents and you have children, and we want our children to, as the latter, being greater in terms of what they are able to do compared to us. We may have we have goals of wanting to send them to college. But guys, I think we all can agree that college is more expensive than it ever has been, and it's not going to get any cheaper. And so in some cases, we may feel like, for our kids, college might be out of the picture. And, that's not, and, for some who may not, care to go that route, that's fine. But for some who do, feels like college may be out of the picture. Well, this is something we can look into to keep that back in perspective. College will remain in the picture, and we can show you how we can help you with that right now, in terms of being able to do that by creating education accounts for your children. Now, the good thing about all this, the first question that you might have, you say, well, man, I get that the financial needs analysis is a tool. I've mentioned that you said that, hey, this is something that's complimentary. It's free to do that based on what you're offering. But how much does it cost me to put up all of this stuff? And here's the thing that I want you guys to understand why I'm here and why I'm talking to you, why I'm talking to the working class, not Wall Street, is because 90% of the working class is working paycheck to paycheck. They're not on track for retirement. They do not have any type of legal capacity, and basically are going to be working for who knows how long. 90% of the people cannot afford, based on how we're looking at things, to get these things in order. 90% of people are saying to themselves, I need to make more money so I can do this stuff. If I just made an extra $1,000, or if I had an extra $500, that'll be able to take care of this. And the truth, and yes, an extra money would be able to take care of this. But here's the problem that we have based on how many of us look at this, is that we don't recognize there's a few terms that I educate my clients on, and one of these terms is called asset allocation. Okay, my objective and what I in working with people is helping people when looking at their finances to cut costs. Let me show you how I can cut costs in your finances in your spending right now. And with the cost cutting that we're going to do, we're going to create money for you to help you and build these things. I can show you just through your taxes, debt, insurance, savings, in addition to your regular living expenses, how we can find money for you to be able to get these things rolling. So rather than it being that my future is depending on me working a second job or making some extra money, getting a pay raise, something that requires time involved, which means time lost, I can start right now. Okay. I'm able to show people with that financial needs analysis that with what you're spending right now, that's going to take you 15 years to get out of debt, we can spend that same exact amount of money, reallocate it, that is now only going to take you 5 years to get out of debt. Now, which would you prefer? Okay. And if the person says, well, 15 years, then okay, well, so be it. Just don't complain about it. But if I can get out of debt and save 10 years, and with that 10 years, save thousands of dollars in interest, and then therefore actually use that 10 years to now generate thousands of dollars in interest, well, that answers a lot of these questions. Yeah, I'll be able to retire, maybe even early. Yeah, I have a solid emergency fund. I'm actually building an estate for my children and my children's children. I have, the counsel, all that I need in making sure that I'm making the best decisions and making the best taking full advantage of all of the loopholes that the legal system allots me to take. And so all I's dotted, T's crossed. That is a full solid house, and that is the objective of what we want to build here. Now, what I'm going to touch on really quickly, guys, is one of the matters in association to this that it's very, very essential to getting, but what I show that you can actually have without the issues of constant, paying of things, and that's the legal protection, guys. And so I'm just going to take a second here and stop sharing my screen for a second, just to talk about legal protection and what the significance of it, and then and why each and every one of us should have it. Okay, as I mentioned to you before, having a will and a power of attorney should be considered a non-negotiable. It's something that it's like having a driver's license so you can drive. It's like having a deed to your house that you consider that you're paying a mortgage on. Okay. Rather than it being something that, it's good to have, I had it, I don't have it. No, these are considered must-haves. Anybody who has assets and has money are not going without these things. And it's something that I've said this to you guys before. When it comes to the financial industry, this industry that I operate in, on a scale of 1 to 10, I trust this industry a 0. Okay. And here's why. It's because this industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry, has more than enough resources for each and every single one of us to have everything that we need without without any type of loss, but yet refuses to do so. And guys, that's not right. And that's the reason why I consider it evil or wicked, however way you want it, is disgusting. Okay. And so my objective is, as an entrepreneur, and the definition of an entrepreneur is one who sees a problem and creates a solution to that problem. And in this case, solving that problem. So my objective is to do what the industry does not desire or care to do. And that is helping, is offering everyone the opportunity to be able to have everything they need without compromise. So when we talk about a will and a living will, what exactly, how does that all work? Okay. Well, typically, if you say you want to talk to an attorney about a will, he's going to sit down, offer you coffee and donuts in his office, and he's going to charge you by the minute, in the hour, and asking you a bunch of questions in regards to finding out a little bit about you to determine what you need. And then they want to gather up all your resources and then draft up a will. This guys can cost you anywhere between $500 to $5,000. Okay. Depending on how significant this is. And for most people, and in this case, when we're struggling or just basically trying to figure out how we're going to keep things in alignment to pay a car note, I don't have $500 to pay it for a will. It sounds good in theory, but I'll pass today. So my objective is working out, is removing the money, condition being the money. And what we have is the company that I work with, we have a program, a legal program. Call it and some of you guys may be familiar with the program. Some, it's been known as Legal Shield. Some call it prepaid legal. But guys, this is a program. This company works with us to help us in providing total financial health for all of our clients that we sit down with, where you're able to get all of the resources that would cost hundreds, even thousands of dollars for just a monthly fee of $29, non-contract. You can set it yourself up, get these things taken care of, draft up your will, get your power of attorney, and say, okay, I don't need it anymore. Or you can say, hey, based on the type of life I'm living, I'm one where I need to have access to legal counsel on a regular basis. Come on, $29 a month. That's like basically spending lunch 2 times out of the week. And so it's and as a matter of what we do is, as I mentioned before, is asset allocation. Is we'll find that money for you. So you're not spending extra money for this. No, we're reallocating your money so that it covers this. Okay. Think about it from a perspective, win-win. Okay. And it doesn't matter. That's my job. It's my job and it's my profession to find money for you. And guess what? We all have it. We all have it. because it's because all we're doing is just moving numbers. We move numbers around. It creates space. And so showing how you can do that and getting you on track on doing that is the objective, and that's what we're going to do. So really quickly, I'm going to share my screen really quickly one more time to talk about our legal protection program. And this is the legal protection program that we have. This is just a little bit of information on this legal protection program. And then basically, what it is and what we're doing. And this talks a little bit about what the plans includes. Guys, that basically for like $29, you have consultation services, legal research, document review, traffic assistance, 24/7 access, probate, will preparation. All of these things are all available to you by being associated with this. These are normally services that you have to pay out of pocket on for each one by the hour, but now you just have to have in one small regular fee of $29 a month. If you wanted to have issue this to have access to more than you, say your family, and in this case, you can basically pay an extra $20, $10 or $20, depending on that matter. But again, don't think of the money price is only a problem in the absence of value. I want you guys to think of the value of what you get here. And the value of what you get here is bar none. And so what we also show here is something of asking the question. There's 101 reasons why people may need PLPP, which is our prepaid legal shield program. And so with this 101 reasons here, if you fall into one of these and you say, that's me or that's me, you need this. Okay. There's no sale here. There's no, I think, that's me. And then we got to ask ourselves the question, why am I needing something? And then saying, I'm not going to get it. That's like saying I need to eat, but I'm going to deny food. Well, guess what? After a while, you're going to get sick. Your stomach's going to hurt. It's going to affect your day to day. Everything is going to start to fall apart. So when you need something, we want to address that need. I'm just going to kind of go over the first 10 of these, reasons why we need this. Number one is if you don't have an up-to-date will or trust. Number two, you don't understand the difference between the trust and the will. Number three, members of your family challenge your parents' will or trust. Number four, you don't understand your health insurance plan or new legislation. Number five, the IRS selects you for an audit. This happens all the time. People get afraid of the IRS. No longer to be afraid now when you have legal counsel. Number six, your parents die and name you the executor of their will. What do? I don't know what to do. And in this case here, now we have an answer. Number seven, you are tired of hidden cell phone fees. Number eight, you need documents reviewed related to your retirement or savings plan. Number nine, you lose your personal identification. Number 10, you receive a speeding ticket. Guys, we can go down the whole list. There's 101 things in here that we all can say either I experienced, I can relate to, or I know somebody else who has or is that has dealt with some matter of this here. What is it saying? This is something that we all need. Okay, and as a result, it's now making it a priority that I'm going to get this. And so and our legal solutions expands not just personal, but we also have business legal solutions for some of those who are out there that say, hey, I have a business, or I'm trying to get a business off the ground and I really don't know what to do. What's going to save you time, what's going to save you money, what's going to save you mistakes is when you have legal counsel who can explain to you the ins and outs of your matter, what's going to be the best thing to do. It's almost kind of like that GPS analogy I use when you have somebody who can tell you exactly what you need to do, what you're going to take, and how and the time it's going to take you to get there, where you now basically have been issued past costs, challenges, getting lost, getting stuck, all of the things that as a result, based on time, once lost, you can't get it back. You're able to obtain and maintain these things. And so, guys, I say this to say that when it comes to income protection and legal protection, your foundation and your roof, these are non-essentials. If you do not have an answer to these things, and you need to get an answer to these things, we need to talk. Okay. And whether you have question, whatever the case may be, we need help, and you need help. And the objective of doing these things is removing money as being the condition. It makes no sense for me to now do what everybody else is doing. So the condition that most people have, which is money being a condition, is what we move from the equation. Okay, so that's not going to be a condition, so that we can go forward and do what we need to do. And why are we doing this, guys? Because why do I do this, guys? Is because this is a ministry to me. I didn't get into this because, what? I said, this will be pretty cool. I like this. No, this is because this is what the Lord has called me to do and instructed me to do, has directed my path in doing. It's my passion. It's my heart in seeing what has been done wrong to people being done correctly, and for people, getting people out of dark, opening people's eyes to seeing the very things that what people have been looking for. And so as a result, I'm going to end here. If you have any questions, any comments, in any case, you can put them in the chat. If anyone else has anything that they want to say or add to this, please feel free. Dr. Derek, for those that are YouTube viewers, will have my information in the chat. I'm available from all regular business hours extended from 9 a.m. all the way till 8 p.m. because I take time for those who reach out to me after their work hours to be able to sit down and discuss what your matter is and what we can do to get you into a place that you're looking to get to be in. So, Dr. Derek, I want to thank you for your time. Thank you guys for listening, and I hope that we can get that we can get your financial house and financial means in order. Thank you.
All right. Wonderful. Thank you very much, King Tim. Really appreciate. And now we're just seeing good presentation. Thanks, and but no questions. But the information, his contact information is in the description on YouTube, and it is also on the flyer that was sent out. So if you need to make contact with King Tim, you are very happy to do so. Information is there, and I do see Queen Yvonne Finn ready to make a comment or ask a question. Go ahead.
Yes, I don't have a question. I just wanted to make am I muted? No.
No, we are hearing you.
Okay, all right. It says you're muted. So thank you for that. It's very comprehensive. And what you have done is you remove that barrier by stressing that it's not so much what you have, but how you're going to be using it. Because when you say the reallocation, that is what has stopped many people from going for what they know they need. So when you say that there's not going to be, well, maybe not much more out of pocket, it's just how you move it around, and then you also stressing about the part of especially in the times in which we're living, the legal protection. It's quite reasonable, isn't it? And you don't have to be a big high flyer to have a legal problem. It can happen at any moment, and it's nice to know that you can call somebody and for a reasonable amount like that. So I think this is a very, very, very good asset. I'm calling the whole thing an asset that somebody should have. This that you're offering here, Brother Tim. So thank you.
Thank you.
All right, wonderful. Thank you very much, King Tim, and thank you very much, Queen Yvonne Finn. I don't know if you want to maybe say something, King Tim.
Thank you. Yes. Just to add to it, guys. Some in many of cases, some may say, you know what, this is a lot to think about, and it is a lot to think about, and so and we want to be able to make the best decisions, and we don't want to we don't want to make bad decisions. But I want you guys to understand this, that no decision is a bad decision. If you know that you don't have these things in place and you're not making a decision on it, you're making the worst decision. Because here's the thing that we have to understand that is easy to take, that we miss in this. And I say this when we like looking at money. When we look at money, most people view money as the most important asset. And whereas if we lose money, we're frustrated. We're like, oh my God, how am I going to get it back? It's so hard to get back. And we do all kind of things trying to figure out what we can do to get it back or not lose anymore. Okay, but the thing that there's a much greater asset that is more valuable than money that we can lose, and that's called time. And unlike money, where you lose it, you can get it back. When time is lost, guys, we can't get it back. And there's a high cost to waiting. I can show you, talk about that in another time, but there's a high cost to wait. When I say I'm going to wait 6 months, I'm going to wait till next year. You know how much time that you've lost. You know how much money that has been lost. Whether I'm waiting because I'm still in, trying to think, trying to figure it out, whatever the case in the matter, I'm wasting time. And my objective is to get you to think it from a perspective of win-win. I don't want to waste time and I don't want to waste money. Okay. And so what's going to be the best thing for me to be able to do about this? Making a decision right now is not spending money. Making a decision right now is not changing your life. Making a decision is taking a step forward. Okay. I can't tell you what it's like outside until I first walk out walk out the front door, or or walk through my bedroom door. But I got to get through the means to get out to where I want to go, to get to my destination. And so it's taking the step forward and not being hesitant to take the step because of overthinking, or I have more questions, I more have answers. Taking that step is getting those questions answered, is getting understanding, it is getting clarity on things so that you can make those decisions. It's kind of like, as you step further and further out into the light, it gets brighter. You're not going to be able to look at everything from a bright perspective when you're all the way in the back in the dark. We have to make those steps going forward. And so what's the fear? What's a holdback? Do I need it or not? You might say to yourself, you know what? I'm okay. Well, here it's think about it. Think of this like going to see a doctor and getting a checkup. Nobody likes to go to see the doctor and hear bad news. And in the case, most people try to avoid seeing doctors. So, but as a result, the win-win way is saying, you know what, I want to go to see the doctor to get a checkup. The worst thing he can say is, hey, you got an issue here that we need to address. The best thing he can say is, you got a clean bill of health. Regardless, I got confirmation. I can walk away without there being something that I gotta remain in denial of, that is going to cost me something bigger later. It's not worth it. And so as a result, so I just want to say that, guys, that thinking, questioning, I'm on the fence of things. How you're going to get off the fence is by getting answers. And so reaching out to me, connecting with me to get those answers is the first start, and is the first step to getting towards meeting our financial goals. So I thank you again.
All right, wonderful. Thank you very much, King Tim. Really appreciate. Thank you very much, Queen Yvonne Finn. And so, still not seeing any questions in the chat. And all right, just a lot of thanks and so on. But as I said, the information is also in the chat, not in the chat, in the description, YouTube description on the varied YouTube channels, and also on the flyer. So you can reach out if you so desire. He does give a free consultation because we know that a lot of these things cost, but there is a free at first to see what you need and what have you, and then if you want to get into some real meat of the matter, then at that time, then there might be a cost. But for that first consultation, it will be free. Um, you know, because sometimes when you go to these financial people, they're telling you 500 or 1,000 minimum. So he's doing the first one for free. So there's no need to be alarmed. Uh, so um, if
And
you
actually,
have a question,
can I just
go
say
ahead.
this, Dr. Derek, just to clarify on that? When it comes to my services are complimentary. I just want to make it very clear. What I do is not a one time and then after that you're getting charged for it. No, my services are complimentary. It's my objective to get my clients from point A to point Z, which means that if this is going to be a game plan that takes 5 years, we're working 5 years. All of our annual reviews are free. I don't charge for any of my time. Any money that's going to be involved in this is money that you're using for your personal for your matters and getting it together, not for the costs of my time and by the hour or anything. So I want to make this very clear that it's not a one-time thing. This is what I do as I said to you before, this is ministry to me. And what I do is complimentary so that money is not going to be a condition that gets in the way to the goals that we need to fulfill. So I just want to make that very, very clear to you as well. Thank you.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. So there you have it. Better yet, it's a ministry, and so you should not be afraid, even if you have a financial person already. Then it's good to get another opinion, so to speak, or get another direction when it is not monetary driven. I think that is the key. When a person is not money driven, they will give you a better service. And that's my opinion. And I'm sticking to it. Anyway, without any further ado, thank you very much, King Tim. Really appreciate. Remember, it's a services offering, complimentary service is offering. So not only just one visit, as many does, right? But you know, for whatever dialogue you need, it is all complimentary. I would definitely um, take King Tim up on that offer. All right. So his contact information is in the chat. Well, I keep saying in the chat, in the description, in the YouTube, and also on the flyer that was circulated for this meeting. So, without any further ado, we will ask Queen Yvonne Finn to give her closing at this time. Thank you. Over to you, Queen Yvonne. Would need to unmute.
Sorry, I'm sorry about that. I was muted. So I was just saying thank you, Dr. Derek, and to Brother Timothy as well, because as you said earlier, it's all about noticing, right? And if you think you've noticed that you need what Tim is talking about, then by all means, at least explore that. It really is how you take back control of your mind. Notice the things that really are impactful in your life. One of the things that I like about this noticing is that it definitely is cultivating the growth mindset, because it identifies your triggers by paying attention to when and why you feel stressed or upset, and then you gain clarity as to what to do about it, what you need to do, right? And you can implement it. Then it's about taking back control, and that is always so important, because it's true that we cannot control everything, but the things that we can control, we should go after that. I always just love that serenity prayer that tells you how to do those 3 steps. And so you live a more empowered life. And it also rephrases challenges when you think, I can't do this or I can't do that. But yes, you can. You just have to shift your focus. It's not easy, but it's a choice. And it becomes a habit, and it strengthens you and it increases your capacity. So let us all remember, don't live life just on, automatic. Be focused about what we're doing. I'm not saying you can't have any fun or anything like that. I'm simply saying live a more intentional, focused life. So thank you, Dr. Derek. That's what I wanted to close with.
All right, wonderful. Thank you very much, Queen Yvonne
Thank,
Finn. Really appreciate all of
thank
that
you.
notice. And
Thank you.
I'm giving you all the notice that I can give you. Thank you very much. Really appreciate. And
Thank you.
at this time, we're going to have King Tim to give his final at this time. Thank you.
Thank you again. Thank you again, guys. And so, my final, word for you guys, for each and every one of us is, we can't do anything about the past. It's behind us. Thinking about it, dwelling on it does not profit us anything except for just reminding us what we did. But today, what we can do it's going to determine what we do, what our future holds. And if we want the past to change the past, it starts by us making different decisions, the different decisions from how we've made things in the past going forward. And so, just as Queen Yvonne mentioned on mindset, really understanding that what's going that it's not the things we're doing, the products and the services that are going to change our lives. It's us. And so the 80, it's 80%. Look at it as 80% self-reflection, changing me, how I see things, how I understand things, that's going to have an impact on my decision making and how I do things. And the 20% is associated to what I'm doing. And we all are in that are in that spinning wheel of the 80-20, continuing to improve, continuing to grow, get better, improving our lives. And so the future is going to be based on the decisions we make today. And we don't want to kid ourselves that if I'm making the same kind of decisions that I've been making, I can't not expect for my future to change in a different direction. So as a result, want to make positive decisions for yourself. Take that step. Take that step that we all need to take moving forward. That is going to be for our the betterment of not just our lives, but our children and our children's lives. Thank you.
All right, wonderful. Thank you very much, King Timothy Ferguson Jr. Really appreciate, really do appreciate. Thank you everyone for joining us here on Deep Dive, Globally Changing Lives. And the word for you this weekend as go over your thoughts is notice. The word is notice. Notice where you are in your mindset and notice where you are financially. Notice. All right. And this was an awesome meeting. Awesome meeting. I thank you very much, Queen Yvonne Finn. You have been a tower of strength to all of us in respective to our mindset. And also, King Tim, you have been a tower of strength when it comes down to health and financial issues in our lives. Let us take these information and act upon them. Thank you all very much. Those on YouTube, as I said, the information that you might need is right there in the description on the YouTube channels, the varied YouTube channels. Thank you all very much for joining us, especially those on the YouTube channels. I really do appreciate. And this weekend, as you know, you do have the recording tomorrow of One Global Movement with the Yvonne duo. And then come Sunday, there will be at 12:45 p.m. It's Dream Team with Dr. P, Dream with Dr. P. Monday, Mindset Monday with Queen Miriam Edwards at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And Tuesday and Thursday, it's back again, deep dive. Thursday morning at 8 a.m. It's one global, not one global, sorry, Oh Passion Singapore, Malaysia. And of course, Tuesdays and Thursdays, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it's one global movement with ours truly, Queen Yvonne Finn and Dr. Yvonne, the Yvonne duo. So there's so many information that you can claim during the week. And remember, deep dive is always the same link. Whether so please to save the link that you use to join the meeting. Save the link somewhere because it's the same link, not going to move. So, and remember, it's the meeting, not Zoom. We have not used Zoom for over a year now. So, not Zoom. We are definitely always on the meeting, which I believe it's a much better, cleaner, nicer platform than Zoom. And so at this time, Queen Janet, go ahead.
Dr. Derek, where did you say you could find his number?
It's
I'd
on
like
the
to talk
flyer.
to him about trust.
It's on the flyer.
On the flyer.
Aren't you in the deep dive group?
Yes.
Right. So in the deep dive group, it's right there on the flyer. The last flyer in the group. If I possibly click on the Mindset Monday flyer. So you'd have to click on the deep dive flyer. All right. And his information
Okay.
is, if you scroll down to the bottom of the flyer, you will see his information.
And Dr. Derek, I put it in the chat as well. I just
And it's
added
in
it to
the
the chat.
chatting meeting.
Okay.
Queen
Let me
Janet,
know. Yes, Dr. Derek.
it's in the chat right here.
Okay. I'm gonna take a picture of it.
All right. King Tim just put it in there.
Thank you.
You see it?
Yes, I did.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Wonderful. So you're good to go.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. The number for King Tim is in the chat. If you don't want to search for it on the flyer, go ahead, Queen Jane. Unmute. Queen Jane. Queen Jane, you have to unmute because we're not hearing you. Jane Francis, you have to unmute. All right, Queen Jane, his numbers in the chat, right here on meeting, his numbers in the chat. And as I said, it's also on the flyer. So if you need to talk with him, if not, if it's me you need to talk with, just give me a call. If it's Tim you need to talk with, give him a call. Simple. All right, thank you all very much for your participation and your presence in Deep Dive Globally Changing Lives. So for the YouTube channels, thank you all very much. And you do have yourself a wonderful week and take best care. Peace, blessings, and enough love.